Tune in to the MacMan Morning Show.
Hold up. Man, this is one of the hottest talk radio shows this side of the Mississippi. We're talking about the MacMan Morning Show, Mondays through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. Man, get you some on WKRA 92.7 FM. Man, beat me there. Don't meet me there.
It's a MacMan Morning Show. 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 Sitting at home when you're in your car. MacMan Morning Show. No matter if you get far. MacMan Morning Show. You better tune in quick or you might just miss. MacMan Morning Show. The best show this side of the sea. It's a MacMan Morning Show. 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 It's a Mac. It's a MacMan Morning Show. 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 Sitting at home when you're in your car. MacMan Morning Show. No matter if you get far. MacMan Morning Show. You better tune in quick or you might just miss. MacMan Morning Show. The best show this side of the sea. It's a MacMan Morning Show. 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 It's a Mac.
All right, I think that we had some Wonderland music. That's that intro that we have here on the MacMan Morning Show. Good morning to each and every one of you. Welcome to the MacMan Morning Show on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. Here, live and direct to you. Whether you're in your homes, most of you in our region are in your homes on the East Coast, east of the Mississippi. We are in a deep freeze as far as the temperatures are concerned. I have a special bulletin, a special announcement that I must make per FCC guidelines. Anytime we have an emergency or emergency has been declared, we must notify the audience of such within our region and where our headquarters, which is in the great state of Mississippi, where our transmitting towers and microwave signals and satellite signals are headquartered in at WKRA. And we have this announcement from the governor's office has declared the state of Mississippi between January 19th to the 22nd as a state of emergency. And the state of emergency is because of the freezing temperatures, the winter weather, including snow, freezing rain, especially down in the south of where we are. There's tremendous cold and treacherous weather that's going to be going on. Good morning to Miss Morningstar. Y'all come in. Hello, we're premiering uh, today. I'll get to that in just give me a couple of seconds. Good morning to everybody. We're premiering today our plugs. Our plugs, the community calendar is being premiered today. And I'm going to get to that too. Alice, child of God, blessed child of God, will be on live today at 5 p.m. Eastern time on her channel. And they will be honoring the memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Yes, this is Commemoration Day. And I'm going to get into Commemoration Day. We're going to talk about that a little bit and about our brand new season that we have here on the MacMan Morning Show. DJ Kitty Cat has shown up. She's in the building. Y'all see she popped right up and everything. You know, she must be, she's a pro now. So she said, leave me alone, not this early in the morning. Good morning. Say good morning to our wonderful audience. Our co-host, my partner, my anchor partner, DJ Kitty Cat. Good morning, ma'am, to you.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy MLK Day. Good morning. Today's
I think we have
a wonderful day.
It is truly a wonderful day. As I want you to stick around, you stay here with me now. And I was telling everyone that we've been talking about our plugs LLC, our plugs, the community connection. Oh, that's their other graphic. Y'all didn't think I kept that one. See, I like that one too. Wait a minute, let me find. Here it is. See, sometimes I got to scroll. Now today, this evening at 6:30 Central Time, our plugs, the Community Connection, hosted by DJ Kitty Cat and Miss Morningstar, and there are other wonderful, wonderful guests. They're already working on things in their studio. I saw a couple of things in there you should have brought over here, but they're gonna save the good stuff for last. So I'm gonna stick with my folks right now. I'm just kidding. You all, please tune in. I'm going to come in the chat or do something, say hello. I got to be there for the kickoff so that we can bring to you the finest in this wonderful program that we're going to have. And Miss DJ Kitty Cat is going to tell us a little bit more about it. Good morning to Keisha the Stylist. Good morning to everybody that's here. Alice and Sharon is here. Sharon's off. It's chilly and it's cold everywhere. And as I stated right now, so far what I've read on our from our reporting stations, we're at 15 degrees in our region. And it's up and down. I don't know where it wants to settle. This is cold weather. There's no school. Thank God. Thank God, because of the holiday. There's some places that don't celebrate the holiday, and okay, you be careful out there. Keisha the Stylist is in her car listening to WKRA, and we appreciate all of you that are here. I seen Miss Morningstar somewhere in the chat if she was able to come also, because she's a big part of this new expansion. Welcome, WKRA, our wonderful media partners, our headquarters. That's where it is. It's what? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Somebody says it's 26 degrees here. Is that DMV? Does that stand for Texas, Miss DJ Kitty Cat? Is that what it stands for?
DMV is, yes, that's Dallas.
Oh, y'all 26 degrees. Y'all cold too.
Dallas, I believe.
Y'all, well, they better pull out. Now, this your fur coat day. You might not. You might have to pull it out. Now, y'all can get to styling and profiling. And, if this was a Friday, boy, it'd be some, all them fur coats folks got in them hot states and say, boy, I'd be glad when I can break this joker out. Boy, this is the day for you to break it out. As I reported to you before, it is now 15. I'm sorry, let me take them out of staging. 15 degrees here, and where Miss DJ Kitty, we don't know what it is down there. The cows is howling, mooing. They don't holler, they move. Oh, it's cold down there in Dallas and Houston and all them places over there. DJ Kitty Cat is here with me today. I'm
Oh,
so glad
DC.
that okay, DC what?
It's the
What?
DC
Yeah,
area,
DC. Yeah.
DMV,
Oh, that's okay.
DC,
Okay.
Maryland,
It's
Virginia.
cold there too. Well, it's cold there too, and there's a certain situation that's going on that I promised that I was not going to talk about, and I'm not.
Don't talk about
And
it.
see, I
Mm-mm.
need some help. See, that's why Morningstar left you here. You left Kitty here without. I ain't got no cover. But no, I'm just kidding. But it is cold. But when you think about it though. Um, this is a day of service, I believe, not just a day of service. And we have Miss Morningstar say, "Hey, watch out now." This is a day of service that we will observe, not just today, folks, but it should be every day. Now, I might start a little something. Okay, let's see, Miss Morningstar, please come back if you can. Is zero where you at? In Chi-Town near Miss Sharon. I see that. Okay. And I like to celebrate DJ Kitty Cat. I like to celebrate our pioneers. I like to celebrate people that made significant ways, especially for us in so many ways, whether it's business and social justice, the marks that we have made so far that we didn't have to live like our Miss Jack is here. Hey, Miss Jack, it's 19 degrees. Where? Enjoy. Y'all cold too over there in Georgia. Help us all. Help us all. And y'all get some neck bones and things. Now this is the time to break out that bag of vegetables that y'all got in the back of the freezer. Y'all know y'all have them.
And
Okay,
some
y'all ain't got to
beef.
laugh. That's all right. Yeah.
Put it in the
See,
crock
I
pot and
got.
have a good meal.
Hey, come on, now there you go. Now somebody know what I'm talking about around here. Y'all need to come on with it and make sure that y'all warm up and everything. Day of remembrance. Listen, I'm torn. I'm torn for several reasons. When it was revealed to me through you, DJ Kitty Cat, about the buying power, and we as a community being uh, the biggest consumers of most of the goods and certain things that we buy, we spend money. And when you told me a figure of $1.7 trillion, I was outdone.
I
In addition
understand.
to yeah, because I was shocked. Like, man, that's a lot. I can't even count that high. But then and sitting down and just thinking about it, I said to myself, I said, look, um, there's got to be a better way for us to get to portions of our community that would listen. What are we going to do? Okay, here we are now in our partnership, and I heard some other things that people are just upset and mad for no other reason, and they're still spending money. Ain't nobody stopped spending any money. I said that to say, not to start any trouble or anything, but I said that to say, DJ Kitty, it is so confusing to me that people are not thinking about the power that we have with our money, our finances, and with commerce and what we're doing. And you're getting ready to come in and come on. Brother Lee has come. We'll get to you in a couple seconds, Brother Lee. I got you. It gives us an opportunity. This opportunity that we have that we're given to really make a difference in media and in advertising. Not just advertising, but then just overall marketing of our community, our people, our Black people. Can you take the time? This is going to be your show today. We're going to take all the breaks and everything. I got no bad news to talk to y'all about. Y'all stay in the house, wrap up in your cover, and behave and get you some oatmeal right now, something like that, and listen to DJ Kitty Cat as she tells you, hopefully, Lord, and Miss Morningstar might have to help you. I like your commercial, Miss Morningstar. You know she wouldn't let me play it today. I don't know why, but that's
Who
okay.
wouldn't let you play it
Um,
today? Stop it.
You didn't. You
Stop
didn't
it.
put it over here. You didn't put it over here. So y'all trying
Stop
to
it.
see. That's what I say about.
So,
Uh,
Mr. Mack and
yes, ma'am.
everyone out there listening, that was a great question. You see, I'm ignoring what you just said. That was a great question that you
Hmm.
posed, and I'm gonna put it to you like this. This is just my view of civil rights. So we had our great leaders back in the day when my parents were teenagers and young adults, and we wanted change. We saw how crucial and critical it was for us to demand change. So we left the plantation. We fought to be free. They gave us our freedom with nothing else. So we had to take it, get it out the mud, literally. We had to start from scratch. So our communities started to organize, and our people, they started from scratch, and we built towns and homes and businesses, and we were together and we thrived. And every single one of those cities that we built up, they burned down. So they wanted us to not have more than them, not have anything actually. But because we were progressing, they saw that jealousy, that ugly green-eyed, green-faced monster came out, and they came and attacked. So our leaders, Dr. Martin Luther King, those associated with him, Malcolm X, so many leaders came together and said, we are not, this is not right. All we want is equality. All we want is our freedom. All we want is to be treated in a way that you would want to treat us to treat you. Give
Right.
us our dignity. Allow us to be people. Leave us alone. They
Right.
decided to integrate. And a lot of people may not agree with me on this, but if you just look at what has happened, okay, at the moment, that was their thought process. Okay, so let's just integrate our communities with you, since we can't have what we were making without you. You kept burning it down, you kept taking it away. So let's just have, let's go along to get along with them. Go along to get along. So we integrated, and or yes, we integrated into their system, not our system. We started pouring into their system, which means our dollars started pouring into their system. Once they got a hold of our dollars, they introduced TV. Television tells a vision, and it's a program. You watch programs on there. So they programmed us to believe that African Americans and Black people were the absolute worst on the planet. And society bought into it because they were
Wow.
programmed to listen and believe this. And over the years, instead of us building our own community, because remember, we integrated, we
Yeah.
went along to get along. We dropped our guard. We stopped thinking about helping us in our own communities, and we started pouring back into their society and believing what they tell us to believe and going against our own better judgment.
Yeah.
And now, 2025,
Here we are.
2024, we have the opportunity to put in place a smart, educated Black woman who had all the qualifications. She has all the degrees needed. And she had a promise and a hope for us as African American people, as Black people. And then they went, and according to what I just witnessed last night, and he said it before, but they're bringing it up on social media now, but he said it last night that he put his people in place. And he said he wasn't going to be the president, but his people went and did what they did. And now he's the president. Yeah. So now it is time for us to pull back and stop believing in a system that wants to keep us under thumb. They try and silence us. They took away
If you can give me
TikTok.
1 second too.
Go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. No, hold on. I want you to hold on. Ah, people. I tried to tell y'all didn't want to. I put Dr. King up there. I said that ain't gonna work. I better just let Miss Kitty roll because when you're passionate about something and when it's deep down inside of you, it's going to come up. My guest and my new co-host of the Magman Morning Show is DJ Kitty Cat of our plugs LLC, and our two anchors. We have two other co-anchors down here with us. We got Miss Morningstar and Brother Lee, who will be premiering this week. Somehow, somewhere, we got him up here in staging with his premiere. But hey, you can't miss tonight's program. We're going to come back in a couple seconds. I'm not through. Morningstar and Lee are here, but we're going to allow DJ Kitty to continue with that start, the train of thought to give us the we need to open up our minds and our hearts about what's really getting ready to go on. And we're not going to talk about that per se, I don't think. But whatever comes and whatever wisdom is gained from it, we're going to receive it. Listen, we'll be right back after these messages. See, I could have had those other commercials on. See, I got nervous now more to start. That's your partner's fault, but I ain't going to say nothing about it.
Tune
I'll
in
be
to the
back.
Macman Morning Show.
Hold up. Man, this is one of the hottest talk radio shows this side of the Mississippi. We're talking about the Mac Man Morning Show, Mondays through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. Man, get you some on WKRA 92.7 FM. Man, beat me there. Don't meet me there. If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know. Get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
We're back on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the Magman Morning Show. I'm James Mack. I'm here with our wonderful co-host and our panel, our wonderful co-host, DJ Kitty Cat, and our anchors. That's Brother Lee and that's Miss Morning Star of our Plugs LLC, our partnership together in production and in broadcasting. But I have a special message. I cut our ad short. We're going to extend if we can get a couple of extra minutes, but I have to reiterate this. It was told to me once more again. We're under a state of emergency here in our region and in the state of Mississippi that has been declared by the governor's office. I'm going to ask WKRA if they can send through message to me any communications in the Holly Spring area as far as warming centers. Folks, it is really dangerously cold out there. There is an organization that is connected to the Magman Morning Show, and that's the Sister to Sister in Binghamton over in the Memphis area that we have gotten so far that has given us instructions that anyone in that area that you can get to that center. Most people know where it is. I was trying to get the executive director on the phone to let you all know that nobody should be out. Your dog shouldn't be out. Your cat, nothing. That nobody that you care about should be out there. I know that people have various problems in, we got family members and certain things like that. But for these next couple of nights, somebody needs a warm place to stay. If you can trust that to happen, please help them. Check on your senior citizens. Check on your senior citizens. Please do. A lot of people try to conserve their energy and their utilities because they um, got income once a month, and they're trying to do different things in these space heaters. As a firefighting officer, I would not even suggest you even use those, especially if you have kids. But if you have to, please be very careful and keep it away from the drapes, keep it away from furniture. Make sure that it's in a central location and it's watched. If you have children, control your children. A child tipping over a heating device of any kind or getting there too close to it or something. You know how kids are curious about things. I learned my lesson a long time ago. I was a kid and I hit that iron by mistake. My mother said, "Leave it alone. It's hot. Leave it alone. It's hot." And then you got a hard head made of soft behind. And I hollered for about a day, but I was okay after that. I didn't touch nothing else. But please be careful and be mindful. Most children are home because of this weather and because of the holiday celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And before we had left, and I'm going to thank you, Keisha, the stylist is here, and Miss Jack, I see you here also. We got you laughing and crying. Isn't that terrible? It's something when you think about what's going on here. I want to say good morning to Brother Lee. Brother Lee, I wanted before Miss DJ Kitty Cat, our host, co-host, comes back, right along that area of line, DJ Kitty Cat. I want you to finish your comment, and then Brother Lee piggyback on that fact of what was going on. A lot of people don't know about Dr. King or the civil rights movement. It's really rarely being taught in schools. I don't know if you noticed that or not. I'm throwing this out here because is it the lack of us knowing, DJ Kitty Cat, about what's going on with or where we have been, that um, it just mystifies me that kids don't know anything about the heroes that helped us to get over. And it seems like we've gotten comfortable living and trying to be or imitating people of another persuasion. Help me out if I'm in the wrong direction, ma'am.
I think you're absolutely correct. I mean, it's telling a vision. And in our school system, I mean, look at today, they want to remove all, CRT. They want to remove everything that points in the right direction. They want to remove the truth about what really happened. And they've only scratched the surface of what really happened. They've only, reported and put in textbooks only some of the atrocities that have happened in this country. But, you know, now they want to remove all that. They even in Texas, they want to remove any person of color stricken from just about everything when it comes to, education departments. So at this
Wow.
point in our lives, after what has happened in November of 2024, it is time for us to step up. And our ancestors and our great leaders back then, they took to the streets and marched. Well,
Yeah.
this is 2025. We're no longer marching. What we're doing is we're getting online and we are collaborating. And
Yeah.
that's why we've started our plugs so that we can
Yeah.
bring to the community a sense of purpose once again and understand that we don't have to feed back into the society. Of course, you have to go to work, pay your bills and all that, but where you spend your money is what's most
Wow.
important. You know, I can't wait until the day that we finally connect with a black owned grocery stores and they're in our plugs. It's coming. There are so many
Yeah.
businesses that are coming and we can shop within our own community. We can have mentorship programs for our youth. We can have nonprofits that feed the unhoused and veterans, and it's all about building our community online through our plugs. We band together on different social media platforms. I want to shout out fan base because that is
Yeah,
Isaac
yeah,
Hayes' grandson, and he put it together.
yeah.
Yes, we have to support us. Get back to us. We are the most empathetic race of people because we give pass after pass. It's okay to give a pass, but don't forget who we are and bring it back home so that we have something to give to the next generation. Right now, our millennials and our youth that are coming up, they see a world of chaos. And it's sad and it's our fault because we allowed them to strip us of our voice and
Wow.
push their narrative and their agenda. And we bought into, oh, let me shop at Walmart and let me shop at Wawa or these specific places, allegedly. Okay, you guys, this is my
Allegedly.
thought process. We are
You
putting our
said
money to
allegedly.
people who want to get rid of DEI because they have given money and kissed the ring, but they don't want to
Okay.
feed the community. Who shops
Okay, but
there? Who works there?
before you give that part though, DJ Kitty, hold that right there. Don't go nowhere because we're gonna bring. Come on, leave
Come
when,
on in.
and I don't want. I want to give this part. Just hold that one right there. Leave the crossover from civil rights movement over into the 70s, 80s, and the 90s, and so forth. Here we are in the turn. We turned and flipped over to the 2000s. And here we are at the crossroads of something that some people have never experienced. When you're talking about Dr. King and its experiences, Lee, you were a lot. You were older than I was. I mean, and you experienced some things. Can you give just a little bit of background on and piggyback a little bit off of what DJ Kitty Cat was saying. And Morningstar, don't go nowhere. We got you covered. And we want to bring that into the generational X generation. I don't know where I fit in as a boomer, a boomer and a halfway something. Why I don't know what they call us. But come on, Lee, with what tell us about that time. Wow, you heard about Dr. King, not his birthday. I'm talking about when you heard the tragic news about what happened to him while you were, while your experience that you had. I apologize for twisted words.
Well, I would say new beginnings, everybody, on this day. Um, I like to go back a little further. I don't want to piggyback off of Sister Kitty Cat. I'll go a little bit further back. Medgar Evers, when he was unalived, that was a moment. Um, when Malcolm X was unalived, that was a moment. When a lot of our black Africans were unalived, those were moments too. Uh, Mr. Dr. King, when he was unalive, that was in a moment. That was a moment too. That didn't start with MLK. It didn't start with Dr. King. It went all the way back since we got here. Before we got off that boat, when we got on the boat, when we even before when they were taking us from our land and they were gathering us up, and we didn't just get gathered up like cattle. We fought back. We didn't have the guns and the arms that they've had to fight them off, but we did fight with our last breath, and we didn't just go quietly onto those ships. A lot of us was unalived on our way to those ships. And when we got on those ships, we were unalived while we were in those ships. And some of us would not bear it to be captive, to be used as such. We didn't know where we were going. We didn't know our, what they had in store for us, but we knew it was going to be evil. So a lot of us jumped over the ship, A lot of us jumped into the ocean. A lot of us was thrown into the ocean because for reasons why they were going to get caught, or they had too much weight, or they had not enough provisions. We were thrown overboard, and at times we jumped overboard because we rather be unalived. We rather be that way than be in the hands of these evil individuals, and not just individuals, this country, that country that they were taking us to. And the thing I'd say is that about history being taught in the schools. Here's the thing, uh, and let me make this clear. The U.S. never had the intentions of teaching us our history. So let's not get that twisted. They never had an intention of teaching us our history. That responsibility was left up to us, and it is our responsibility. We cannot leave something as important as our history left up to a Caucasian, a European government to teach us about us, when the very essence of keeping us down is not to have us let into our own history. And so we have to understand that
Okay.
it's not the government's responsibility to teach you who you are or what we were
It is.
doing before we got here. Let's that make that very clear. We got this twisted. We can't blame them for something that's our responsibility. We have to seek out our history. We have to find it and teach it to our kids, not till we get into school. Before we get into school, we have to teach it when they come from school. We have to look, it's our responsibility to look up this information and teach our kids who we were, what
All
we
right.
were. You know, we
Okay, I
can't
want to say
expect.
this real. I want to say this real quick too. Also, with the conversation starting, I want to add in as we go into our second half. I want to add in Miss Morningstar. Now we heard from the beginning that we could get, as far as Brother Lee has given us the lineage of our history. DJ Kitty came and she's letting us know that as living post civil rights movement, it is even getting kind of more difficult and identity is being lost. Now let's come to Generation X. We're not saying that you're the youngster or anything like that, but we're just saying that now with all that we've went through, and we're going to come back to each one of our panelists. Out of all that we went through, are you there, Miss Morningstar?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning,
Ms.
everyone. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. And Ms. Morningstar, I wanted to get your perspective on the, I don't know, can we call it the X, or it's the X, is it the X or the Y generation, or what is the
I'm
generation now?
Generation A.
Not, okay, let's go to generation we all, I think. I cross over. I don't know. But um, what Generation X is saying, along with the new generation that has come along that has been disappointed, as DJ Kitty Cat has said, with the outcome of the election. Nobody knew that that was going to happen. I didn't have any. I said, God, it couldn't be happening. What are the streets saying? What are the youth saying? What are the beats of the street? What is Generation X saying about what's going on now, and how are they reacting to really not understanding and knowing the history of this country?
Well, I would say this. We have recognized what our assignment is in this country. We have made a decision that we were going to fight back. We were not going to just settle or just confine to what is being brought. We ask questions. A lot of the times, we watched our ancestors, we watched our parents, go through the rigmarole of struggle and having to comply and having to you know be compliant to the ways of the world, the ways of the government. When our generation came along, we actually decided, well, we gonna fight back. We gonna ask questions. I mean, you think about the '80s and '90s. Our music, our culture, the change that was happening, that was crossing over, where we asked questions. We wanted to know. We got more involved. And what I can say, we tried to do was our next generation that's coming along, our children, maybe we missed the mark somewhere where we didn't give them enough to understand about, because I think we decided that since we went through a struggle, we learned things, we fought back, our children were more privileged. Now we have a new generation that they really don't know what it is to have to go through go through racism. I mean, I talk to younger people and they'll say, well, I don't experience that or this, that, and another, but they don't see the depths of what we've seen. So now it's really our job, because now we're going to be looked at as the ancestors, and it's going to be our job to now point out to them the things that have been happening in most recent times, with social media being one of the hottest things now in this United States, in the world. Social media is the way people are gaining their information. So we have to take on the responsibility now as the new ancestors to these, to the younger generation to come, to educate them, to point out the hidden racism, to point out some of the things that was overlooked, because a lot of them now are going into a state of, well, they were more privileged, they didn't have to go through, and it's a good thing, because that means we're progressing. But with this past election, as DJ Kitty talked about, to our surprise, we thought we had hit a crossroad with a wonderful VP Harris, with her accomplishments, her goals, all the things that she did. Of course, we have to work harder. We already know that as a people, but we thought we hit a crossroad, and then you know the election happened, and we found out, oh, it's still more work to do. It's still a lot more work to do. So
It is.
I think now we're here in this time where we realize, the hidden factors, the the hidden effects that we might have skipped over, that we know we have to deep dive back in and pull out,
Right.
so that we can continue to educate our newer generation, and try to keep making the change. Like DJ Kitty said, it's time for us to get back to some of those old ways with our communities, where we invested in each other.
Really. To get back to the old ways. Listen, you're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the Magman Morning Show. Good morning to each and every one of you that is listening on our signal, and also looking at our telecast that we have. We got great things coming. This is our new season. I have our co-host, Miss DJ Kitty Cat, and our anchors. I got Miss Morningstar and our chief contributor, Brother Lee, that is here. And we're talking about, and we're not just reminiscing, but we're at a point now. What does this day mean to you? What does what we've been through, if you known what we've been through? Do your children know about the civil rights movement? Do they know about the voting rights movement? Do they know about the things that are getting ready to occur? Some of us have experienced, as Miss Morningstar say, have not. There's a lot of people that haven't experienced real true racism yet. They are seeing some things, and it's kind of shocking the community. But she said something also that I would like for you, DJ Kitty, to backpack on. These children, let's go there. They saying that now most of the kids have privilege now. I mean, they really, it's some kids. I knew if I would have acted the way that I acted in the store, Brother Lee got his promo, and when you go to the store and all this stuff is really true. You had a different way of things happening. Now you don't even, kids can't even sign their name. I was at the DMV once, and we were standing there, and the lady said, "Sign your name." And the kid printed their name. Like, they said, "No, no, 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 not like that, but sign your name." He said, "Well, what do you mean? We don't know. You don't know how to sign your name." I said, "No, that's my name right there." Yeah, but what? And it shocked me that even cursive writing. If those of you know what cursive writing is, y'all know how it looks. But they don't even know. They don't even teach that anymore. What has happened to our community from your standpoint post civil rights movement, as we grew up in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s?
You're posing that question to me, right?
Yes, ma'am. You the
Okay.
ringleader. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I didn't want to jump in. So, in my opinion, what has happened is we've gotten removed, mentally removed from teaching our children. I remember coming home and my parents would say, "Okay, did you do your what homework do you have? Not did you do your homework? Let pull out your paperwork. Let me see." And not only that, we would have conversations about what they went through. My mother would sit and tell us stories about her childhood and what she grew up in North Carolina. So she had plenty of stories. She grew up in a biracial home. So she had a different view, much different from what we could understand. But as we continue to develop and learn, and we would come to our parents and say, well, this happened to me, and they would sit us down and explain to us why. Now let me back up. My parents actually, I didn't I was born here, but my dad was in the military, so I grew up until I was 8 out of the country. When we did come back, that's when my parents decided to explain to us about slavery and racism, because where we were at, we didn't see it. I didn't know anything about it until I came to America. And it was shocking. But coming from a different country in my formative years, I learned that I can use my voice. I have the right to say what I want to say. I have the right to be free, to not be scared of repercussions or someone treating me differently. So when I came here, it was a complete shock at how different the world was. But my parents took the opportunity that gave them the window to educate us. It's up to us to educate, because just like Lee said, they had no intentions on teaching our history at all. Why would they? They wanted to indoctrinate us and have us buy in to what they were selling. And we bought in.
Yeah.
We did. We bought in. Let's call a thing a thing. We thought that by being a part of, we would finally be a part of America. We would finally, and it's never come that we have equal footing financially, spiritually, none of it. So it's past time for us to pull back and say, let's pour into us.
Right.
That's my statement.
Well, that's it. There's it. Well, we're here still freezing, and the temperature just went down to 10 in our region. Let me say, folks, this wind chill is not playing. We want you to take all precautions. And the reason that I'm stressing this is because it is our duty at the McMahon Morning Show, also at WKRA, to announce and to let you know when there's an emergency situation. There has been an emergency declaration signed by the governor for emergency aid due to the horrific weather that we're having here. I have not known it to snow and to sleet like it is in Jackson, Mississippi area, in the Hinds County area, as I looked at the radar. And we're going to have all of those features coming real soon here to let you see actually what's really going on the screen. Um, and you'll be able to see us too. We're not always hidden. Sometimes I don't shave, but then all of my bad habits has to drop now since my big sister, DJ Kitty Cat, is here, my wonderful co-host of this, the wonderful Mac Man Morning Show and Mac Media Productions. Her premiering show is coming on this evening at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 6:30 p.m. here where we are, and it's 7:30 over on the East Coast. DJ Kitty Cat and Miss Morningstar, who's one of our wonderful, wonderful anchors, getting all of the preparations together. Brother Lee is going to be coming real soon. We're getting things in order. They got a wonderful show. They got some good commercials and some good ads and some good things coming. There also will be a our plugs section on all of our platforms in the morning here on WKRA, and our listening audience here on live on YouTube. Our telecasts are always live on YouTube right now as we prepare to go into a new phase of our relationship with you here on the MacMan Morning Show, Mac Media Productions, our plugs, LLC partnership. It's our partnership together, letting you know that we're getting ready to just pull the skin off of media and off of radio here. You're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the MacMan Morning Show. I'm going to go to a break real quick. We're going to have a round robin in a sense. I want everybody to get into the conversation as we go into our second half of our broadcast. We're asking for a little bit of grace. We thank WKRA for being kind to us. I know a lot of people are watching. I don't like um, our streaming service how they don't give us an accurate count of what's going on. So we gotta. There's some things that we're working on. I know that you're there. A lot of people have messaged me already, and I want to thank everybody that has come. Wait a minute. Hold on. I got some. Yes. Okay. And everybody that's getting ready to come back after our messages here. DJ Kitty Cat. We have Miss Morningstar and Brother Lee. We got a great conversation. We got time to do it. The premiere of Our Plugs LLC, the community connection, is getting ready to happen. And you think you've seen something. You have not seen anything. Stay tuned. You're going to love it. Tell everybody about it. We'll be right back after these important messages, and I'll holler at y'all in a little bit.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting your bunny on with Mac Man Morning Show very own Mr. Lee.
Well, when I was a kid, Mama looked at you before you got in the stove. She looked, I don't want no you don't put your hands on. You don't ask for we ain't eating. We wait till we get home. But kids now, it's like, look, you know what you do, you know. He got a note saying that he's allergic to peanut butter, he's allergic to jelly, he's allergic to bread, he got gluten free, he gave me this, he gave me that, and then he got a note saying he got DDT, ADT, or Rivian, or whatever. He can stand on tables, he can do whatever he want to do. What kind of is that?
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know, get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
And we're back on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the MacMan Morning Show. I'm James Mack, your host, and our co-host is DJ Kitty Cat of Our Plugs, LLC. We have anchoring with us. Our chief anchor is Miss Morning Star. Hey, y'all, how you doing? And our chief contributor, Brother Lee, on our panel this morning, round robin time. And now we're going to allow DJ Kitty Cat as our co-host to lead this part of our second half of our show. We're at the 50 past the hour of 9, 54 past the hour of 9. It looks like it here, And we're going to continue. We're asking just for a little bit of more grace because I think the conversation is going to get a little hotter. I want DJ Kitty Cat to take over this part of our broadcast, this half of our broadcast, with the continuing conversation with our panel, including myself, about what's really happening. And as we remember Dr. King on this day, the life that he led, the sacrifice that he gave, not just his birth, but we're grateful for the seeds that were planted, and hopefully, we hope those seeds have fallen on fertile ground. They have right here. They've fallen on us because we can partner together and come bring you the finest in broadcasting, and not just that information and wonderful inspiration here on WKRA. Go ahead, DJ Kitty Cat, our co-host of the Magman Morning Show and the host of our plugs, community connection. Go ahead, DJ.
So thank you, Mr. Mack. As I was saying, it's just time. It's time for us to really envision and not just think about it, but actually be about it. Focusing on the community, focusing on where we can be, what we can do in order to sustain us current day, but actually train and teach those who are coming up behind us on what to do. Um, we can sit back and sit on our hands and do nothing, or we can get up, come together, and fight. If we don't, our children will pay the ultimate price. They have no problems whatsoever with stripping women of their bodily autonomy. They have no problem whatsoever of doing away with DEI. However, everyone that's supposedly going to be in this cabinet are definitely DEI. They have no problem with trying to, stripping away CRT, the little knowledge that they were allowing us to teach our children. Now it's a no. So it's time for us as a community, it's time for us as people to sit back and speak with our youth and have them get on board and let them see that not all is lost. We don't have to sit back and do nothing. Our dollars is all they understand anyway. They only understand money and power. So once you remove your money and you stop giving your money to those who don't want you, but they do want your money, things will turn around. But it can't just be a few people. We collectively have to draw a line in the sand and say, moving forward, I need to support my own community so that we can actually have something better than what they plan for us. What they have planned for us and everyone else is total domination. Let's be honest. Ogoritz, I know I'm saying that incorrectly. An
Oligarchs.
oligarchy society can never
Oligarchs.
stand. Yeah, oligarchs, I'm sorry, can never stand in the United States of America among citizens. We will just basically be paying to them and under their rule. Joseph Biden, President Biden, his his address to the nation was really clear. So it's what do we do? Do we sit back and just wait, or do we organize and come together? I'm not talking about marching. Marching is no longer effective, if you ask me. Yes, it draws attention, but after you go home, what changes? Nothing. Holding your dollar and putting it back into your own community is the only repercussions that will stop this. That's my take on it. Brother Lee?
Well, I like to say you stated the facts, my sister, and I won't argue with any of those statements that you made because I agree with them. Uh Let me say this. Less than 1% of this country's people in this country. He's controls 99% of the people in this country. Less than 1%. You can believe that or not. Look it up. Most of the country's wealth is controlled by 1% of these citizens that we have in this country. Um, and we got to understand what we're up against. And see, the thing is, when we do march, and I don't know if you remember the 60s, and they show movies and clips and all this about the 60s and the 50s and the 40s, and go back. Civil rights struggle didn't happen just in the 60s. It started when we got off the boat. Started before we got off the boat. Started before we even got on the ships. Our civil rights, we were fighting for them before we were taken, before we were taken prisoner. And we've been fighting for our civil rights ever since. And we have to understand when this struggle started and what was given to try to get out of this situation. And don't get it twisted when we think that because we have a nice car and you have a nice house and you have what you would call a great job or a decent job that you have made it. Yes, they have made it, but not us. We got to stop using their situations as our solution.
Okay, did I
Illusion when
lose
we
him? Oh, okay.
it's an
Go ahead.
illusion when we look at what's going on in this country and we take technology as a form of access to everything and thinking that oh we can do this and we can do that. No, it's not uh true access. You know, we talk about the school system. We are the school system. And we have to understand that school system, if they're not teaching our kids, we need to go up to that school in large numbers and get this thing situated, get this thing taken care of. We need to go in large numbers. You say marching doesn't help us. It depends on where we march to, where we gather to. We can march and gather numbers and get together like we used to do at the churches. The only reason we did it at the churches because we were allowed to go to churches. That's where we had our meetings. We can have our meetings other places. It doesn't have to take place in churches, but we get there and strategize on what we need to do and how we need to do it because we're not doing things that we need to do. And I'm gonna tell you something. They had the government gave people of this country, citizens of this country, 10 million acres, you know, but that was in 1862. Even freed black Americans wasn't allowed to have access to that opportunity. That was 10 million acres, but it was given to European Americans, Europeans that weren't even Americans. It was given to lots of other races besides us, 10 million acres. And we weren't compensated because we were excluded. We still haven't gotten compensation for that land that we was excluded from. It's things in our history that we don't talk about that makes me kind of grabs me the wrong way. And we talk about our politicians. Let me tell you something. And you had mentioned, Sister Kitty Cat, about um, the sisters and how their rights are being taken away on the Abortion Act, the right to, you know, to choose. But here's the thing. Let me tell you, and you can look this up. Uh, the women of this country are over 60% of the votes, but they vote every time you vote for 80% of the white men, and then you expect something to be different. You're more than the majority of the votes, but you keep putting men in office.
So
You don't put enough women in office, but you got the right to do it. You got the power to do so.
Okay,
And
join
you
the
keep complaining.
conversation, please.
What?
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
I
Go
agree
ahead.
with you, Lee, but 92% of us did not. And I'm talking about Black women. I can't speak on white women because I don't understand why they do the things that they do. But 92% of Black women voted for Kamala.
But 92 of the black women don't vote for black women that are petitioning, that run for office. 92%.
What do you
Okay,
mean?
let's go with that. Listen, the sisters in your district, there's a black man that ran in your district. And I guarantee you, he got the majority of the women vote, the black women vote. Black women don't vote for black women, except for in this opportunity for Miss Harris. They did, but in the local offices, and you can look this up. The local offices, they don't vote for their own kind. They don't vote for black women. Black women can't get in the office locally, not in large numbers.
It
And
happens, Lee. I
look it
don't
up.
know the
No, my sister.
statistics.
Look
I
this
don't.
up. Look
Let
up
me
the
say this.
statistics tomorrow. Come back on and tell me the statistics, and I guarantee you, we're not voting for them. You
I'm
don't
going to say
support each
this.
other.
I'm going to say,
Okay,
local
go ahead.
elections are extremely important, Lee, but I haven't done the research on that, so I can't speak on that. But I will do the research. But I'm going to say this: when it came to Kamala, I can't fix any of this, but I can say this: 92% of Black women voted for her.
I'm not
Now,
talking about the
as far
national
as
office.
local elections are concerned, we have work to do.
Well, we've been having work to do. We can talk about the excuses of why we didn't do this or why we didn't do that. We've had opportunities to put our women, our black women in the office, and we haven't done it. We rarely have done this. And Brother James can testify to this, and others can testify to this. They haven't seen enough black sisters, enough African American sisters in office because, when African American sisters are the largest voting block in our culture, because black men, we don't vote like you do. We don't put them, but you are responsible for having these people in office. And we talking
Well,
about we talking about on the school
Well,
board. We talking about in the
Lee,
alderman.
Lee.
Well, can I say something? Can I say something real quick?
yes, yes,
Hold on,
please get
So,
in the
hold on, Miss
conversation. Okay,
Morningside.
hold it.
Let me
Kitty,
just get this out. Let me
Kitty's
get
in
this out.
charge. Go ahead. Kitty.
Let me get this
Go ahead.
out. Lee, I agree with you. We have work to do. And so it didn't start years ago. It didn't start centuries ago. We have to start now. We are just now pulling off the bandage and saying, okay, it's not healing. We have to do something else. So that's why we put our plugs together so that we can sit on the radio all day long and social media all day long and talk about it. But that's all we're doing is talking. Let's organize and make it happen, because unless it's brought out to everyone's attention, it's swept under the rug. There's no sense in blaming anyone.
And
It's
we're
just time
blaming
to do
anyone.
the work.
Look, if you cannot listen, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna tell you this. If you can't find the cause of the problem, then you can't find the solution. And you said don't blame, but then that's just like a doctor said, don't blame cancer. Let's just see what else we can find out. That's don't blame
I
the
agree.
measles.
And what have
Don't
you done,
blame the
Lee?
measles. Don't blame the measles.
Mhm.
Let's just figure out what we're gonna do. If we don't know
Absolutely.
what's the problem, we gotta find out what's the problem. Then we get to the solution. And the only way we get to the problem, we gotta recognize and analyze and put the problem out there. And if it takes me to find out that Johnny over here caused cancer and he's bringing cancer to everybody, we gotta point the finger at Johnny. And if
I
we don't,
agree.
and you saying don't blame anybody, how you gonna find out the solution if you can't find out who's causing the problem?
You can blame, but
This is
okay, you're blaming. And now what? It's just a
Now when
blame.
we listen,
Now what?
you know what?
Actions.
Well, the thing is, you said we can't blame. We
It
shouldn't
does.
blame. If we
We
got
can't.
black
You're
folks,
sitting here
we
just
got black folks.
blaming,
If we got
and
black folks hurting black folks, and we ain't
and
saying, listen, let's solve this problem, or why we doing it to ourselves, and saying let's not blame. This is the
and how
time
do we
of
solve it,
you know
Lee?
what we're
How do we
doing.
solve it?
The
okay.
thing is, we have to stop making excuses, because we make
And then
excuses.
what?
Well, if you let me finish, if we got to stop, we have to stop with this excusatory atmosphere of when we giving out participation trophies for not trying. We letting kids get away with things that they should be stopped, and we should point it out. We saying all of a sudden this my plug is going to solve the problem. That's
I didn't say
part
that
of.
No,
our plugs would
no, no,
solve the
no, no, no,
problem,
no,
but
no.
it's a start. What are you
Yeah.
Listen,
doing? Hold on, I
le-
got this,
le-
Mr. Mack. What are you doing,
Okay.
Lee? What are
listen.
you
I go
doing?
to listen, my sister. I'm glad you said that. I go through the communities that you're afraid to go through. I go through the west side of
Wow.
Chicago, the south
Wait,
side of
wait, wait,
Chicago. I
wait.
go in our
Wow.
ghettos. I go in our Roseland community. I go in our Wooddale
That's
community.
good.
I
I'm
go
glad
in our
that you
community,
do.
and I
And then
talk to
Wait,
her.
what?
Listen, you asked me,
wait,
my sister. I want to
And then
reply to
what?
wait,
You
you.
wait,
roll
wait,
through,
wait.
and
I
then
want to
I
what?
like
reply
that.
to
I
you.
gotta
Listen,
wait.
my
Hold it, hold
sister.
it.
If you
Let me.
let me
I gotta come.
speak,
I gotta give a station ID right quick. You would forget we're on the radio. Let me say. Well, before I'm going right to it. Thank you, WKRA. I appreciate that. Let me say this. No, we don't. We're not. We're not going to be combative. One, we're going to have a conversation. Two, this is how it gets. This is how you have to referee, and our co-host is the co-host. Now, what I'm saying is, let's have this discussion, not in a way as it being that we're that the yes, they're opposing views, but everybody needs to be heard. But everybody and everybody needs the courtesy of that because this is the McMahon Morning Show. We're gonna do it the right way and how it's supposed to be done. We're with here with our co-host. DJ Kitty Cat was our anchor. We have our lead and chief anchor. We have Miss Morningstar. We got our chief contributor, Brother Lee. It's a hot conversation because we're here
uh,
at Dr. King's. Wait a minute, a Dr. King celebration that we're having. But we're discussing the ways forward that we can do. What can we do? Yeah, we can holler about it. We can point it out
well,
who it
well,
is. Now, our plugs, wait now, come on, I'm doing station ID. Uh, we're going to go right into our station ID real quick. I'm going to bring everybody back. DJ Kitty Cat is our co-host here, and she's had the lead on this conversation. Y'all just stick around. Everything gonna be cool. We'll be all right. And DJ Kitty Cat's gonna come right back after I play this PSA for us right here on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. It's just family, folks. We'll be all right right after this PSA.
An announcement from the great and powerful Oz.
Hey, I'm not the Oz. Man, I'm just plain old DJ Big Daddy House, aka Samaje Anand, right here on WKRA 92.7 FM on the Madman Morning Show, making a brand new announcement. Yes, a brand new announcement for all of you out there that have non-for-profit organizations or just doing good in the hood. We have a new segment called the Community Calendar. So if you got something going on good in the hood that's going to benefit the people of this nation, man, make sure you get in touch with us, man, so we can put it out there and everybody can know about your creation. Right here at the Madman Morning Show, WKRA 92.7 FM.
Everybody look around, cause there's a reason to rejoice, you see.
All right, we're back on WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the Magman Morning Show. James Mack here. I am your host here with our co-host DJ Kitty Cat. Our plugs, LLC. Welcome to the family, to Miss Morningstar, our chief anchor, and our chief contributor, Brother Lee, on our panel this morning. As you know, I will attest and say, as we move forward in our conversations about things, I'm glad to say that our plugs LLC, the premiere of this wonderful, wonderful platform and show, is coming on tonight, premiering tonight at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. DJ Kitty Cat, Miss Morning Star, they're wonderful. Okay, listen, we got a great team of people here that are going to give you wonderful programming to give you the facts. Hey, Mr. Frank, how you doing, sir? Um, we're glad to have all of you here. Our co-anchor and not a co-anchor, our co-host, DJ Kitty Cat was in the discussion with things, and I know she can handle herself. But we're going to turn everything back over into her hands. We got DJ Kitty Cat is here, and Miss Morningstar, our anchor here on the Mac Man Morning Show. They're going to go ahead, and you got the floor, folks, for the extending time that we have. Go ahead, DJ Kitty Cat.
Good morning again, once again. I'm going to go ahead and pass the torch over to my good sister, Miss Morningstar, and let her go ahead and speak her piece and give us her thoughts and her views on how do we, what are next steps, and, we can talk about it or we can be about it. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. So yes, what I wanted to comment on was, and I saw a comment in the comment box by Powerful Black Woman, which is one of our extended members of our plugs. We can chew gum and organize at the same time, meaning two things can be done at the same time. Yes, first you have to actually pilot. I don't know if you understand when I say pilot. You have to pilot a problem. You have to organize. You have to get together in a group. You have to see the masses, and you have to see where the problem lies. Now, I don't have the statistics or the numbers to see or to point a finger and say it was the Black women not supporting Black women. But what I did, the numbers that I did see, and the numbers that DJ Kitty was talking about that we did see was on a national level that 92% of Black women did support the presidential election. Now, when it comes to local elections, there's work to be done. There is definitely work to be done. And I think that that comes from poor education. A lot of the times people are not politically educated on local elections, and even being part of school boards. And a lot of the times you have people who didn't even think, would it make a difference if I was part of a school board? I mean, and it does. And I think this is trial and error. You have to learn. You have to be willing to make the mistake, fall on your knees, bust your knees up, and then say, okay, now it's time for me to switch it around. We have a whole new generation of children that are watching us. And instead of saying what we should have, could have did, or what we ain't doing, or what we need to do, or what we have to fall into action. So our plugs is part of a solution. It's not the whole solution, but we are stepping on the floor. We 10 toes down on putting our input on the solution, where there's a lot of other organizations out here doing the same work, putting the work in, organizing. And at some point, we may all come together and meet at a ground point. But it has to start with everybody putting their foot in the ground, instead of, pointing out where you may not been in my community. You don't know what we go through here. It's possible. We don't know where everybody go through. We live in different states. But the ultimate goal is to bring community together, use these social media platforms where we can meet people in different locations, where we can meet people in different states. We can get the data. We can analyze the data. I was in my career, I've been a program analyst. I know what numbers look like, and I read numbers very well. So, and we have a lot of people in our community that can do that. So instead, like she said, instead of pointing fingers, instead of saying what we didn't do, what we not doing, we need to just take into action and put our feet to the ground and do the work, and then start coming up, with critical numbers and seeing what our outcomes are. Because this has been a whole pilot, a learning experience. We learned that maybe we slacked somewhere, and we have to pick up where we slacked to make things better. And our plugs is definitely going to be part of that movement, part of that solution.
I agree with you, Miss Morningstar. You have to start somewhere. We can sit back and point the fingers all day long and say what shoulda, coulda, woulda. But and it's just like, if you have an issue, we all know that there's an issue. But where's the solution? You know, we don't need everyone pointing, oh, this is a problem. We know it's a problem, but you have to take it one step at a time, one brick at a time. You have to build your community. We have to take the time to parse out and see where the disconnect is at and what we need to do in order to correct it. You know, we all know that we're living in a society that has counted us out. We can sit on every social media platform, every radio station, and doom and gloom all day long. Or we can figure one little step. Let me organize. Let us collaborate. Let us move forward. If you're not doing anything besides complaining, that's all you're doing. You know, you may, and I don't knock any of us for anything that we do to try and make our society and our communities better. I don't live in Chicago, I live in Texas. I don't know and I don't want to know what's going on as far as walking your neighborhoods. I can't do that. I don't want to. What I want to do is what I do. I have a lane and I'm staying in that lane. However, there's nothing wrong with us collaborating and coming together and sharing those experiences and figuring out how to fix a disconnect as long as we do it respectfully and on task. There's no sense in tearing anyone down because you didn't think of it. Oh, it's our post is not going to be the solution. I didn't say it was a solution, but it's definitely a start.
It
Whether
is.
you decide
And
to be a
DJ
part
Kitty,
of
if
it
you
or
give me,
not, it is a start. Go ahead. Go
let
ahead,
me
Mr.
get, if you give me a second, this is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. We've been given just a few more minutes of grace on the signal, and we thank you, WKRA, for sticking with us. We have you on monitor. Thank you for the extended time. You're listening to the Magman Morning Show. Your host, James Mack, and DJ Kitty Cat, along with our anchor. Our chief anchor is Miss Morningstar. Our lead and chief contributor is Brother Lee. Go ahead, Miss
I just would
Morningstar.
like to say, I would
Or
just like to say something. I mean,
well,
I haven't been given enough time to speak, but
okay,
the
well,
thing
we were
is,
going to
I
give
got
you
the
an
time I
opportunity.
got.
I just wanted to, yeah, I
I
was going to give
understand.
you an opportunity. Okay, okay, go
Well,
ahead.
everybody's taking a lot of air out of the room talking about I'm blaming. Uh, Listen, that's what a child says. Blame. When the parent
Okay, I don't know what happened. What happened?
is
Okay,
doing
well,
something wrong,
listen.
the
Okay,
child is
there you go.
make it's
Something
gas.
happened.
Wait, can I finish?
No, wait a
I'm
minute.
not
Hold
gonna
it.
let
Hold it. Wait a
anybody
minute.
gas.
No, 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 no. You had a technical situation on something on audio, and I was just trying to figure
Yes.
out whether you were back or not. If you give
No,
me an
I'm
opportunity, I, I'm trying to make
go
sure
ahead.
that you come through. That's what something was wrong with the mic. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Look, I'm not gonna let anybody gaslight me. When I'm trying to get a solution, well, I have a solution to. You don't know what I do in my community. I'm gonna tell you something. My brothers and my sisters and my mother, grandmother, grandfather, they've all worked in the community. My brother had several businesses in the community where he had an auto shop where he gave
Okay.
customers, clients, people in our community free repairs. Free vehicles to take home, and I was in that community helping him do that. And my other brother, that's down in the Delta, knocked on doors. And you're talking about what have we done? What have we started to do? We've been doing this for decades. And the thing is, my sister, and I'm not gonna put down your business
You already
plugs.
did.
Well, the thing is, you felt it as a put down. I told you that it's not the solution; it's part of the solution. And see, you take anything as a
No,
critical
Lee.
blame. And
Lee,
the
let me
thing,
explain
see,
Okay.
something
listen,
to
listen.
you.
Now you've been talking enough. Now it's my
And I'm
turn.
going to
Wait, no,
continue
no,
to
no,
talk.
no, 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 no. Wait.
Okay,
Stand
if
by
I'm not
right
allowed
now.
to
Hold on,
speak, if
hold.
I'm not allowed to speak,
Stand
then
by.
I'll just be quiet.
But
I
you
just be
you
quiet.
have to give me an opportunity. I'm going to say this right now, as the host of this show, and I've been as courteous as possible. There are no confrontations here. This is a safe place for people to come. I'm not saying that you can't say what you want to say, but we're not going to be confrontational. Another thing is I am the director, lead director. That means that I'm watching the time, I'm watching our audience, I'm watching everything at the same time. And I want us to be able, that goes for Lee, everybody else, to be able to recognize that we have a radio and a television audience that is listening and watching. We got to conduct ourselves, first of all, before we do anything, we got to conduct ourselves as professionals. As family members at this table, that's what exactly what we are. We are family members, and we're going to conduct ourselves as such, even though we have disagreements or we have a thing that we would like to bring out. The guidelines have been set. Our um, co-host is DJ Kitty Cat, who has control of the segment and of the broadcast at that time. We got to be mindful and respectful towards each other. I want to say a whole lot of things, but I'm not going to do those types of things because why? I have an audience. We have an audience here on WKRA, on our plugs, and on Mag Media Production. We have a responsibility to conduct ourselves in a manner where people can understand where we're coming from. Now, if they feel that we're at each other's throat, nobody's going to
Well,
listen, and then we'll all be wait. I'm speaking now. I got to lay the law down because we can't start this way. We're in a new season, even though as fresh as our and I know all sides. My thing is, let's do it in a way where one is not confrontational, but it's information that you're giving out. Two, your comments, your suggestion, you have a right as a human being to express yourself, but we do not have a right to cause an atmosphere that goes to James Mack as well as anybody else that we can't communicate with each other. This is communications, mass communications. And DJ Kitty and myself, as host and co host of this show, the guidelines got to be set. That goes for all of our family members. And we got to set the standard. At this time, with this limited time that we have as director. This is WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. Media Productions, our Plugs LLC, combined productions right here on WKRA and on YouTube. We're here with our wonderful panel and our wonderful co-host this year, and she's going to carry out our show. We'd like to thank WKRA for giving us this opportunity. We promise we won't scare nobody or nothing like that. DJ Kitty Cat, our co-host, and I'm going to do what I need to do. That's stay in my lane. Go ahead, DJ Kitty
Thank you, Mr. Mack. I'm just going to say this and then, we can move forward. We can, move forward. Our plugs was designed for the community. I don't have all the answers. We have a team. We welcome anyone's suggestions, ideas, collaboration. Our only goal is to make sure that our communities are safe and secure, to make sure the businesses get the audience and the foot traffic they need in order to survive, to make sure that the homeless and the unhoused are taken care of, to ensure that our children have proper education and have a an opportunity to grow in a country who has depleted us of just about everything. So our plugs is a start. There are so many other organizations that are out here who are doing the same type of work. And I implore everyone, regardless to where you are in life, to join and support any organization that is trying to give back and uplift our communities. Regardless of our differences, Lee, you and I, we're our ultimate goal is to ensure, I would believe, I like to believe, is to ensure that our generations to come can survive and sustain themselves in a country that's not continuously, as they have over 400 years, holding us back. Collaborating together, coming together, and trying to find common ground so that we can give back to our community is all that I want to do in whatever time I have left here. Now, we can agree to disagree on a whole lot of things, but what I think that we can agree on is that we just want better for ourselves and our communities, irregardless to how we get there. I pray that each one of us takes a stand and tries something and does something, as our good sister Michelle Obama said, do something. And with that,
Something.
I pass it back to you, Mr. Mack.
We're going to Miss Morningstar and Brother Lee. You get an opportunity to say, Miss Morningstar, come on, our anchor, our chief anchor, one of our chief anchors, please. No,
Listen,
don't you
I
have to?
agree.
Come on.
I agree. You know, you guys, we have to start somewhere. Um, you know, passing any kind of, uh, you know, subliminal comments or anything about anything to, tear one another down is not going to be a way to start. So therefore, like DJ Kitty said just very, very clearly, there are so many other organizations, so many different people, not even just organizations, people that are doing the work, putting the work in, being proactive, getting activated, and putting their feet to the floor and helping their communities. And that's exactly what we need. And we have to move as the times move. We have to move and catch up to what new technology is coming out, with new ways to explore, ways to create chains where we can put the information out into the air. And we have to adjust. We have to adjust like eagles in the air to the community and to the upcoming children. We have to have a way for them to understand how to continue this on, how the continuum of the process. So we have to be open for the discussion. We cannot be shut down and closed minded to it, and we definitely can't take offense to uh, criticism or any kind of constructive criticism, because it's going to happen along the way. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing because it's a learning curve. It's a way you learn. You do better when you know better. So, great conversation today. I really appreciate it. Dr. Martin Luther King will be very proud
Yeah,
of where we are today as a people, and what
yeah,
we're trying to do and organize as a people, and that we're not just giving up and conforming to the United States government and the things that we're seeing is happening, that we're actually taking a stand in our own way, not necessarily the way they took stands, but in the way that we know how to take stands, because we're in a different time. And I think that we will be making our ancestors proud, as long as we stay to the assignment and stay steadfast and keep moving forward.
all right. Brother Lee, come on.
Well, I'm just gonna say this real quick. I know you don't have a lot of time. I'm like saying, listen, I'm not here to get clicks or likes or subscribers. I'm here to stand up for my community, for our community. I'm not here to kiss anybody's butt about anything or say. I'm not here to point fingers or anything like that. I complimented you, Miss Katie, on what you were doing when I first came in, and I continue to do that to you. You can't take it so sensitive, don't have that very thin skin. Well, you know what? I don't come on here to try to get anybody to like me, anybody to click for me, anybody to sometimes people like me, sometimes they don't. But number one thing is that I walk the streets. I'm a little older than you, and I've been living life a little longer than you. And the thing is that I didn't say that your solution about my plugs. I said it's part of the solution. It's not the solution.
It's it's it's
It's what can I speak, my
it's
brother? If I
our
cannot talk,
plug.
if I can't,
I was just correcting.
our plugs. Let me just say this. Listen. Uh yeah, this is your show, Miss Kitty and Mr. Mac. This is your show. I'm just a contributor, So the thing is, I try to contribute. I try to bring on something that's positive, something that'll wake us up. I don't try to go with the flow. You say, "What's the solution?" We've been at this solution before you got here. We've been at this solution before I was born. My people didn't die, and then the solution came up just when you came up with the plugs, with your plugs. I can't keep the name going.
Our plug.
Ye-
Our
our
plug.
plugs.
Our
It didn't
plug.
start with our plugs. It started 400 years ago. So the thing is, we've been working at a solution for a long time, my kitty, Miss Kitty. You got to understand that just because It feels like it hasn't happened. You know, the reason why you in the place you are in, any reason why you able to do the things that you do is because our ancestors have died, have been unalived, have been taken off this earth, and they fought with the very last breath that they had. And I understand that, and this day should represent that. You know, so you saying that what can we do? We've been doing something since we got off the boat. We've been doing something before we got off the boat. So that I don't discount, I won't negate what my black brothers and sisters have been doing since the very beginning when we were in Africa. So for you to discount that and say, look, we're trying to find a solution, the solutions have been happening, but the situations have been changing. So we just keep evolving and finding ways to elevate ourselves. That's what I have to say.
All right.
Oh,
You're listening to WKRA 92.7 on your FM dial. This is the Magman Morning Show. I'm James Mack. I'm here with our wonderful co-host, Miss DJ Kitty Cat, and our anchor. Our chief anchor is Miss Morningstar, and Brother Lee is our chief contributor. Let me say this before we go. We're getting ready to go. I'm going to say this. We are here for this purpose and this purpose only, to lift our community in and out of the situation in some way, form, or fashion that it's in. Our plugs, Mag Morning, Mag Media Productions, WKRA, NAAC, whoever the case may be, the solution to the problem is we're getting to the solution. This morning, right now, this morning, they're getting ready to do something that we never thought that would happen. And you know what that is, and I'm not going to interject that. I'm asking people of goodwill, put your thinking caps on, as they say, and let's get to work. We have work that we have to do for our community. We have work to do together. No excuses are going to be made, but I will say, yes, I'm praying that the creation, and I know that we're headed in the right way and the right direction. The partnership that we have with our plugs is a wonderful one. God made it happen. That's neither nor here nor there. As I said before, this program has always been a program, and should be and will be a program where everybody that's on the air feels comfortable. We have to check ourselves sometimes, me, everybody. And I'm saying this to you today. Look at what's getting ready to happen on the Mag Media Productions and R Plus LLC. Look at what's getting ready to happen. See, people want us to be confused and so on and so forth. R Plugs is coming and get ready to give us the best and the finest that they ever. I've seen them in action. Take our minds and our hearts off of other things. We got work to do, and the way that we're going to do it, the marching orders have been given. We are get. I'm coming on. I'll be on tonight. I mean, they might let me on or something and everything. That'll be good. But then tune in. Tune in. We're not through. I'm going to get more promotions about our Plugs LLC, about the community calendar. Brother Lee, we're going to be working on other presentations and things like that. But don't lose faith in the Magman Morning Show. We on our way, folks. We got something that we got to do, and we're going to stand and do that we're going to do. I know there was a double do, but for all of our panel here this morning, let this Monday be a Monday that we get ourselves to a point where we say, hey, we're moving forward. We're not worrying about the man, the orange man, or anybody else. We're going to move forward. We got to take care of ourselves. And it starts with the voice. We got the voice. It starts with another plan. We got the plan. It starts that we got to worry, and not worry, but we got to focus in on what we need to focus in on: our economy, economics, how we going to make it, how we going to navigate, who do we shop with, who will respect our money. It's one thing to get my money, but it's another thing, as DJ Kitty Cat was rounding up, that we spending our money in these places. And some people respect us, some don't. But we're going to stop that on our end as best as we can, and as best as we can on this wonderful show. I'm James Mack. I'm your host. We're going to get ready to get out of here. And I'll be back here tomorrow, same time, each weekday morning on the McMahon Morning Show for our co-host, DJ Kitty Cat, for our chief anchor, Miss Morningstar, for our lead contributor, Brother Lee. We're here each and every day. I just like to say to you, we're in the fight. Do something great. And as the powerful black woman says, she say, we are created to create and make a difference in our people. I got to go.